Educational TV program Travel Around Kazakhstan on domestic tourism is produced within the frameworks of Ruhani Jangiru project. Every episode, our camera crew travels along popular routes marked on the touristification map of the Republic. You can virtually learn the unique geography of this region by inspecting the map. It has a Kupchagai Reservoir, Kalasai Lakes, Altina Mill, and Ile-Alatau National Parks. In the region, the largest Korgos Eastern Gate hub is also situated along the New Silk Road. Therefore, whoever wants to see the pristine beauty of Jetissu should visit the Almaty province. Few residents of the Kazakhstani southern cosmopolitan city have never discovered Turgen, a near-situated spacious valley. Spend the night in a tent in exceptional green fields. Find campsites where dozens of tourists can fit. We too decided to go via a common tourist route. Hello, my name is Shinbulat Pazil and this is Travel Around Kazakhstan.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Шинбулат Пазл, и это программа «Путешествие по Казахстану».
Turgen waterfalls are found in Almaty region on Ile-Alatau National Park territory. The distance from Almaty to the nearest cascade is only 87 kilometers. You reach it via Kulza or Talgar Highway. Both roads will bring you to Turgen village, where a sign to falls is visible. 7 kilometers after, we pass an ecological post where you should pay an amount for entering the national park. The only path in 12 kilometers along Turgen Gorge will lead to the water cascade. The Turgen River rises high in the Trans-Ile-Alatau Mountains. It rushes among magnificent peaks of Turgen Valley, and on riversides grow Tinshan spruce, barberry, rosehip, wild raspberry, and currant bushes. Clean air and picturesque landscape make the valley one of the most well-known recreational places around Almaty. The Ile-Alatau Park logo depicts two stylized trees of Tinshan spruce and Malus siversi, a wild apple. These plants became the symbol of Almaty area. Tinshan spruce trees are the most adapted to a highland. Their roots cling to any stones, and this is the sole reason these trees fill the slopes of mountains. Wild apple tree, Malus siversi, for a long time has been a focus of attention of botanists from all over the world. According to DNA research, it has been a progenitor for all modern apples cultivars. Therefore, Almaty can be proudly named the native country of apples. Turgen Gorge goes further into for 44 kilometers, up to a high Issyk plateau, 2,560 meters. In ancient times, caravans from Europe to China and India passed through here. Several sites for the family vacation enthusiasts are on the way to waterfalls. They have a trout farm too, recognized for easy and exciting fishing. Driving directly to the falls by car will not work. You will need to leave a vehicle at parking. A pleasant walk in nature will be a great bonus of the trip. Moreover, the tourist of any age with any physical preparation might master the road to Medveji Fall, Bear Falls. You have to walk only 1 kilometer from the parking lot along a well-organized hiking trail. Medveji Falls is not the highest even among the Turgen ones. Due to its convenient location, the cascade is a favorite among the park guests. In summer, many of them freshen up in the mighty river after mountain hiking, overcoming the fear of cold. People say a family of bears live here, which gave a name to this place. The Medveji Falls of the Ile-Alatau National Park on the altitude of 1,559 meters above the sea relate to Turgen Falls. A small Turgen stream forms it by falling from a cliff from a 30-meter height. Smallest splashes scatter in the directions, creating a real cloud. If you are going to spend a day on the trip, you would inevitably have to choose between numerous natural and historical tourist attractions around these parts. Those who like waterfalls can keep on driving to Kairat Cascade, the highest of the Turgen waterfall system. Meanwhile, our film crew returns to Almaty to see another significant symbol of the city in independent Kazakhstan, whose image has long been a part of Kazakhstani identity. We will move toward the place where Altyn Adam, the Golden Man, was found. Issyk Kurgan is one of the major archaeological sites of the Scythian Saka period. It is thought to be one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. The memorial dated 4th century BC. They excavate a famous Saka burial mound with Golden Man remains on the outskirts of Issyk town in Almaty region. Like many great historical findings, it happened by chance. In 1969, at the entrance to the town Issyk, they decided to build a new car depot instead of the one washed off by mud flow. On its territory stood 6-meter burial ground, which had to be leveled. However, at first, archaeologists were invited to study it. They found a burial looted by the robbers. Works have almost finished, but they have exposed a log construction 15 meters away from the central burial chamber, which raiders could not find. Remains of Saka warrior in golden clothing who lived about 2.5 thousand years ago were retrieved. Treasures from Issyk burial ground stirred great interest and have come to be known in the world right after the unearthing. Restoration work had taken 3 years. As a result, they created a unique model of clothing, headdress, and footwear decorated with copies of gold pieces. In addition, they dig up over 4,000 golden leaf ornaments originally sewn to clothes. The place included 70-centimeter long pointed headgear, footwear, statuettes, jewelry, tableware, and weapons from bronze and gold as well. Silver cup with 26 written symbols is still not a deciphered mystery for philologists. Its evidence suggests Altyn Adam was the heir to an emperor of an influential Saka war leader. The warrior, well known to the world as Golden Man, was found in the mound and became a distinct symbol of free Kazakhstan. It is a direct connection of times and unity of the land where ancestors of modern Kazakhs had lived: Sakas, Hun, Wusun, Turks, and Kipchaks. To the north of Issyk town lies a gorgeous mountainous lake, to which you can easily get by personal car. On the way, we drive through forests with well-known Tinshan spruce, full with wild animals. These are Argelis sheep, mountain goats, and bears. You can allegedly meet snow leopards in this area as well. On this lake remote from ancient trade routes and caravan trails, never had been any human settlements. Only rare hunters unexpectedly wander off to this area in search of prey. Issyk Lake is on the territory of Ile-Alatau State National Park. Elevation is 1,756 meters. Geologists claim that it was shaped a few thousand years ago as a result of enormous avalanche, which created a natural dam about 300 meters high. Numerous guests who return from Issyk Lake differently estimate the unusual color of its water. This color has developed because spruce trees mirrored in the lake give it a tint of malachite. The crystal streams, bearing a frost of glacial lakes, add sea green nuances. The water in the lake is cold and transparent. You can find a trout. It is a fish which lives only in running or spring waters. More than 150 kinds of birds and almost 30 types of mammals, including red deer, mountain goats, wolves, lynx, bears, and snow leopards inhabit the mountains. People knew about the healing properties of the local mountain air from a long time. Kazakhs call this lake Jasylkol. Inherently, Issyk was 1,850 long, 500 meters wide, 50 to 79 meters deep. Should not come up as a surprise that here, during the USSR period, people planned to make areas of recreation of all Union significance. Rumored that the Vietnam leader Ho Chi Minh, who came here for the first time in 1959, enjoyed riding on the water taxi. The head of the USSR, Nikita Khrushchev, also reportedly loved being on the Issyk Lake. The area of the lake activity began to develop in 1939. An asphalt road, a tourist base, and a bus terminal had been speedily constructed. Tens of thousands of Almaty locals and city guests arrived here all year around to relax in the heart of nature. The reservoir was so popular that its pictures were taken for the tourist maps and tourist brochures of the USSR. Summer months on the lake were the most sought after. True nature lovers come here year-round because even in winter, the coziness draws anyone who wants to unite with nature. You may move beyond the shore and walk around. Rocky valleys, alpine meadows, and dense forests stretch over the creek and leave no people indifferent.
Освоение берегов
Exploration of Issyk shores by campers and hikers gave several poetic names, which are practically forgotten.
забыты.
Pond has few coves. People call the northeast cove Bee Harbor, to which vacationers firstly came out. Raspberry Harbor was further south. The log with raspberries in it came down to the pier from the east.
Спускался лог, названный так по зарослям малины.
10,000 years ago, the devastating mudslide had obstructed the valley and created the natural barrier. The waters of Lao Glacier Creek, Issyk, filled the formed bowl. Over the years, lake water had carved out the way at the bottom of the wall. It happened during winter, autumn, and spring. However, in the summer period, when the snow thawed in mountain summits, waters had overflown the pond and rushed down on top of the block, which by that time had been densely overgrown by forest. It was a massive cascade of waterfalls of at least 500 meters height. Now, you can only picture what a brilliant and dangerous this spectacle was for travelers of the past.
Однажды озеро перестало существовать.
One time, Issyk has ceased to exit. In 1963, another powerful mud flow descended among these places tens of kilometers down and destroyed everything on its path. In the end, in place of the 50-meter reservoir, a small puddle of mud and rocks was left. People had installed a memorial cross in remembrance of the victims of this natural disaster. On 7th June 1963, it was hot that Sunday, and many people vacationed on the Alpine Lake. In the morning, a delegation had arrived in Almaty. It was Nikolai Kosygin, a chairman of the USSR Council of Ministers, and D. Muhammad Kunayev, chairman of the KazSSR Council of Ministers. Some believe that Valentina Tereshkova, the first female cosmonaut, was expected to arrive as well. People have prepared her vacation place in one of the lake coves, too. While high-ranking guests got acquainted with sights, the stream of water raged from the mountains. The mud flow has wrecked Issyk Lake, but time passed, and we see how it recovers from its wounds and returns its beauty. Depth of today's Issyk is shorter than before 1963 landslide. Water warms up faster as well. Therefore, if desired, you can dip into refreshing waters almost in any comfortable place. You don't have to be a walrus, just a physically strong person. Explorer Semyenov Tian-Shansky wrote about lake once. With delight, we saw the green lake below our feet. It had the most transparent, lush, bluish-green color of Transbaikal beryl. Since then, countless visitants to Kazakhstan tried to see this pearl themselves. Presently, it has become much easier than during Tian-Shansky's times. Tours go to the lake from Almaty every weekend. They say the pond has a real character when waters change their color depending on the weather. If sky frowns, the lake turns gray. Under the bright sunlight, waters have blue, turquoise, or green tones. You can gaze at this peaceful beauty forever. I am Shin Bolat Pazil, and this was Travel Around Kazakhstan show.